Hello and welcome everyone. So I'm here with a new tutorial. In this tutorial what we're going to do is actually try to recreate the level A Crack in the Slab from the game Dishonored 2. In that level, basically there are two timelines that you can switch back and forth between. So I was watching this Snowflake documentary, and in this documentary they showed that how they actually achieved this inside of the game. So basically what they do is place two levels on top of each other, and they render those levels simultaneously, and they have linked that to that ancient device that allows you to see between the two worlds. So in this case, we are going to try to recreate that same thing inside of Unreal Engine 4. And just to give an overview, I am using Unreal Engine 4.26.2, and I am using the first person template as my starting point. So what you want to do is just open up this first person character blueprint. We're going to be modifying this. So just to start, I want to remove these VR, whatever these are VR, and I want to remove this thing and this, and I don't want this as well, and I'm going to change this as well because I will not be using this for VR, and I'm going to use this. Okay, and I don't need the stick input. We'll stick into keyboard and mouse, and I don't need this as well, and this will go over here. Okay, so the basic thing is done, and just to show you that it's still functioning properly. Okay, this is working. So what we're going to do is basically take this level and then just duplicate it way below over there. Okay, so both of these worlds will be present in the level simultaneously, and we're going to render this throughout the camera. Okay, and to start, we're going to duplicate this level, but first what I want to do is remove these physics-based cubes because they would cause some issues and camera clipping, which we are going to avoid. So we're going to select this over here and just delete these. And next what I'm going to do is just select this arena over here, this one, and I'm going to duplicate this like so. But how much units do you want to duplicate? So the easiest way would be to just change this grid snapping to 5000, enable this, and let's just try to duplicate this again, about 5000 units. Okay, and it's giving me lighting error, so what I can do is just change this to movable. So the purpose of this, like this distance unit, is you can move it like 10,000 or 15,000, but remember to always move it in the z-axis. X and Y should be avoided. Okay, and remember this unit, we have moved our level exactly 5000 units below. Okay, just remember this. And now what we should do is move back to our first person and corrected blueprint, and over here I want another camera that's going to render out this other world, and there is something known as scene component, scene capture component 2D in this one. Basically this is another camera. This is used to render out something over a texture target. This is over here. What you can do is create this texture target and a material for that. So going back to our content browser, create a new folder, call this dual world, and over here what I'm going to do is go to materials and select this render target. Okay, I'm going to call this RT dual view, and I am going to use this inside of my scene capture component. Okay, save all. So now you see thumbnail has updated with this render target. But what I'm going to do is actually create a plane over here, select the first person camera and search for plane. Okay, and I'm going to call this dual view plane. Okay, and I'm going to place this like so, and let's just change the size as well to 0.25. So if I see over here, it's right in front of me. Let's readjust it a bit. and let's just rotate it a bit. Okay, so I've placed this view, and now I want to do is actually create a material over here that is going to use this render target as our basis. So what I'm going to do is create a new material. This one, m underscore dual view. Open this up, and first what I will do is change this to where is it? This one to unlit, and I'm going to drag this inside of my material and plug this in over here. Okay. So once this is compiled, what I will do is use this material on my dual view plane, and what you should see is that now it's trending our level over here and it's inverted. So let's rotate this like this, and now it's running properly. So if I move this camera, like let's just give this scene capture component camera a little bit of offset so that we can see the difference. And if I play this, you can see my camera is moving. It's running out that scene capture component camera onto that plane. Okay. So now what you're going to do is actually move this camera like way below over there, exactly 5000 units. Okay. To do that, what I want to do is just parent this to the first person camera and set the relative transforms to 0, 0, 0. So it's exactly at the same position as our own camera. Then what you want to do is select the capture component and search for scene. This one, I'm going to name this dual view root. Oops. Dual view root like this, and I'm going to change this scene capture component parent to this one. So now both this and this camera have exactly the same relative offset from the origin of this character, and I'm going to select this dual view root, change my snapping size to 5000, and I am going to drag this over there. Okay, so now what you should see is that it is rendering my other world. Now just to give it a bit of difference, what I'm going to do is move on to this world and apply some materials from my starter content. It's going to be like this. Let's use this, and like this, and maybe this. There was this one, so I'm going to give it to the walls. Right, so, and let's just test it out again. Okay. So you see, I am present in one of the world, the gray world, and my plane is showing me the other world, which is being rendered, just has the materials and that stuff. But now you see there's a little bit of problem. When I look left and right, the camera is moving fine, but when I look up and down, my camera is not in line with my original camera. Okay, I'm going to fix that. And to fix that, what I'm going to do is go back to our event graph and create a new function and call this sync cameras. Okay, and for here, I'm going to drag out this one and say set relative rotation, and I want to link this up to my first person camera rotation and say get relative rotation, this one, and I'm going to use this over here. Okay, and that's what we do is basically our camera changes on our mouse movement. So what I'm going to do is call this function on my mouse events. Basically these act like check functions. If you not move your mouse long enough, they will stop working, but most of the time they will be firing every frame. So we want to change our relative rotation of the scene capture component camera every tick or every movement of the mouse. So now just test it out, compile and save this. And now what you should see is our camera is moving. There's our other world over there. This works best for the interiors like in the game Dishonored. But as an example, you see our camera is almost in sync with the other world camera. Okay. Now what we're going to do is actually switch between these two worlds. So if I press a button, I want to move in the upper world or the lower world. We're going to do that next. For that, go to your project setting, create a new input and action mapping. This is going to be shift world, and I'm going to use the Q key for that. Okay, and going back to our first person character, what I'm going to do is call that shift world, and I am going to get the transform of this one. So I'm going to say get world transform. Okay, and I'm going to say set actor transform, this one, and I am going to plug this in over here. It's going to be teleport. Next, what I'm going to do is drag out from here, and let's just use flip flop first, and drag out from say set relative location. Now, the first time we move, we are going to be moving downwards, and we want to move this fake route upwards. So it's going to be new location is going to be positive 5,000. It's going to be teleport, and this one is going to be negative 5,000. Okay, and I want to link this up over here. So right now this is negative 5,000. Once I teleport, I want this to move positive 5,000. So this is present in the upper world, and once I press the button again, I want to move downwards because our own character will move in the upper world. Okay, let's test this out, and if I press the Q key, you see my character is dead basically. Now this is because by default this first person template has a kill Z distance of negative 1,000, I think. What I'm going to do is go to your windows and select this world setting. I have mine open already. Now here what you see is this kill Z distance. So you want to reset this to default value or your own value according to your own game requirements. And let's test this out again. So now if I press the Q key, you see I've teleported in the lower world. There's the upper world, and everything is working fine. And if I press the key again, I'm back in my world. And just to prove that these two worlds are indeed being rendered simultaneously, I'm going to open this first person projectile blueprint and search for lifespan and change this to 10. And I am going to break this destroy actor over here, and I'm going to just test this. Projectiles and shift world. So now you see both of these worlds are being rendered simultaneously, and yeah, this is it. This is the basic way that you switch your worlds from one position to another. So this is it for this video. Thank you very much.